there, boys, girls, and squirrels. My name is Modstab, and welcome to 2020. That's right, I don't need these anymore. Never mind, I can't see my notes. Alrighty, all joking aside, we're gonna jump right into this thing. It may be a touch rambly as I haven't made one of these videos in a really long time, and so it might be a little awkward, but it's okay. There's a couple of things I want to talk about here. I've been asked a lot in the last handful of weeks, last month, what's my plan for YouTube in 2020 in regards to a couple different categories. We're going to touch on my content, live streaming, and then we're going to touch and finish on COPPA because I think that's the bigger issue that I want to talk about. We're going to start by addressing something that a lot of the people that are subscribed to the channel and watch my content don't know, and that's the goal that I set at the beginning of 2019. So I'm not a huge fan of this whole idea of like, well, I'm going to be healthier in 2020. I'm going to set a goal to do 600 push-ups. I'm going to make more money. You know, like, I don't care about those goals. My goal every year, every day, every minute is to just continually better myself in everything that I do, whether that's creating content on YouTube, whether that's my job that I'm currently working at, whether that's my health, whether that's making sure that I reach out to my family more often. That's something that I continually try to be better at every single minute of every day. So the whole trend of setting a year goal it's lost on me a little bit. I want to be better all the time. That's what I do. When I started the YouTube channel in January 1st, 2019, I wanted to set a goal of hitting 100 subscribers. For me, that was going to be the sign of whether I'm getting traction or not, whether there's an audience out there that wants to see my content. And that's the goal that I set, not because it was this mystical goal that was going to change my life, but because it meant that I was doing something right. It meant that I was where I should be looking, at least for the time being. We didn't quite hit 100 subscribers, but my wife, amazing as she is, said, you know what? I know you haven't hit 100 subscribers, but I can see that you really enjoy this content. You really like making videos. You like interacting with the audience. You like developing those skills, both in recording skits, scripting skits, video content. You enjoy improving yourself in those skills, and I find that you enjoy that. And I think you should go ahead and continue it, even though you haven't quite hit 100. Well, we're here. It's 2020. I'm making a new video. We're going to live the dream. We've earned basically 100 subscribers in 2019. What I want to do is double that amount of earnings in 2020. I want to get at least 200 more subscribers by the end of the year. And once again, that's going to be my sign that we're getting some traction. I didn't spend any money on advertising. I didn't advertise. I didn't make diss tracks. I didn't make reaction videos to try to pull in other audiences. I wanted it to be as organic as possible, because I want this content to be a reflection of the people who truly watch it. I want you guys to be able to say you helped me grow, but I want it to be a reflection of the things you like to watch, because I want you to watch as much of it as possible. We're going to go ahead and get started on a couple of the points I want to talk about. We're going to start with content, and this will tie into live streaming, so we'll kind of put it all in one kind of swath of an idea, but I do want to start with content. Quite honestly, it's going to be a lot of the same. We'll touch on some reasons why people ask me this in the COPPA portion of the video, but my content, I really want to be doing a story-rich game. I want to have that every week, and I want to be uploading 2 videos a week of a story-rich game, at least for the time being, as I like that structure. I like the consistency. I love playing through story games, and I love taking you guys along that journey with me. I know I haven't live streamed very long, and I have some really positive feedback from you guys, and we do have a lot of people that'll show up and watch and just hang out and have a good time. And quite honestly, it's not even live streaming the game that I enjoy. It's the fact that I get to talk to people in real time while I'm just kind of hanging out playing games. And there's a lot of things that I want to kind of start up. That's right. We got the burps here. So with live streaming, I want to start working on games where I can play games where I can invite you guys in and we can just hang out and chill and have a good time, because I think that's a lot of fun to watch. It's a lot of fun to play. It's a lot of fun to hang out. We're going to get kind of the meat and potatoes of why I made this video. I'm going to keep it as brief and short as possible, because everybody has heard everything under the freaking sun about this, and I don't want to ramble too much on it because it gets boring and it's really dry. It's fascinating to me, but it's a really dry. It's live. It's 2020. Like, the regulations that were put in place because of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, I think is what it stands for. It's live and things are done. This is a YouTube mess up. YouTube screwed up. Okay. So you're not supposed to collect data or information online for anybody under the age of 13. Now, this act, I think this was something that was back when internet first really became a thing, just to make sure, you know, go watch Game Theory, go watch Matt Pat. He has a really good video. I'll try to see if I can't put the link in the description below for you guys. Here's where YouTube screwed up. What YouTube got right first was you had to physically say you were 13 or older, because that was the rule, that was the regulation. You couldn't do it otherwise. Where they messed up and was stupid is and this is public knowledge. They bragged about how wide-reaching their company was, how good it was at reaching people under the age of 13, how they were the best at reaching people between an age group demographic that was under the age of 13. That was stupid, okay? If they would have said nothing, they would have just said, you know what, we have these rules, these regulations, how they get reached, that's not our problem, okay? What really bothers me about this, and that's going to bring me into my first point, is it's such a classic, like, it's just such a classic, it's everybody else's fault, not mine. As a parent, it is your job, it is your responsibility to make sure that your kids watch content that you approve of. Don't watch content that you disapprove of. You teach your kids not to lie on forums just because it's internet based and their friends do it. You have to teach your kids to be more responsible. Your kid is being spied on because you're not doing your job as a parent and monitoring what they're doing. It is your job as a parent not to say, here's an internet-based babysitter, do whatever you want, and I'm going to complain if there's something vulgar on there because your poor little Timmy is 9 years old. A lack of accepting responsibility has led to a lot of the issues we have in general in a lot of different areas, and YouTube not taking responsibility for some of their blunders and mistakes has led to how kind of intense and overblown this whole COPPA thing was in the first place. My next and biggest gripe is going to be about the computer-based algorithm. I'm going to break it down in the terms of gaming. Why? Because I love gaming, I play gaming, and I understand gaming, and I think a lot of you will understand some of the gaming terms as well. When has it ever worked, YouTube? When have your algorithms ever worked? Trick question, never. Now, when you're developing, when you're creating, when you're releasing a game, you stereotypically have 3 phases that people are aware of: alpha, beta, full release, okay? Now in the alpha, what you do is you pick a general audience, okay? It's not always the same style of players. It's just you pick a smaller audience that's more specific to how you want the game to be tested. There's going to be a lot of abilities that may overperform. There's going to be a lot of abilities that will underperform in the sense of RPGs or things like that. If things were done properly in the alpha, you should have a wide range of different types of players to test your game. And they test it in each of their own ways. They play through it and they report bugs. They report abilities that are too powerful. They report abilities that are not powerful enough. Now, what that means for this computer-based algorithm is, if it over-reports people for being kid-friendly, that's where you can have this alpha team report those issues to you, and you can fine-tweak it to tone it down. Now, if it doesn't report things that are very clearly kid-based and designed for people under the age of 13, you can, here it is, have your alpha team report it so that you can fix it and fine-tweak the bugs, okay? And I think that is almost exclusively where YouTube misses it. They never hit the alpha phase of their programs, the beta. Now, what happens here is most of the motor functioning, the primary abilities, the main function of your game is almost flawless. Now, in the beta, you get a very wide range of audience. This is usually public. Most betas are public. At least at some point in time, they will go public. This allows a wide range of audience to test this out. This is going to test the workload of your program, or in the case of COPPA, it's going to test how successfully it works with the large quantity of content creators that are out there. It's also going to be a way for you to test out those little bugs that people don't run into in the alpha. Now, these are little bugs, and I emphasize little bugs. These are not game-breaking bugs. Now, in the beta, on top of finding those weird, quirky, tiny issues like, oh, maybe it's a specific tag, for instance, in your video. If you tag family friendly, well, it's going to flag you every time. I consider my channel very family friendly. I don't swear. I don't make a lot of vulgar jokes. I tend to play games that most people in an entire family can watch without having to worry about those issues. That's something that can be flagged, and that's a pretty big issue. That's something that they should have narrowed down, and when the beta comes out, when it goes mostly public for most people, they're going to be able to tweak that immediately because it's a small issue and a small change in how they make that algorithm work. Now is when most games will stereotypically go full swing. It's the full release, okay? Now, how that would have related to if YouTube did this properly is you had the alpha, they got all the functioning things, they got the ground level, they got the foundation, they got the basement set up. In the beta, they put up the walls, they made sure all the rooms were designed where they should be, made sure nothing was overperforming or over-reporting, nothing was under-reporting. It was making sure that all the things that made those computer-based algorithms find content that was designed for kids work as intended and work without punishing people just for being family friendly. Now, when you come to the full release of a game, this is where you put the roof on the house, so to speak, since we're apparently using that analogy right now, and make it something that not only functions properly, functions as intended, doesn't have any graphical issues or under or overperforming issues. This is where you really top it off. You put the cherry on top, so to speak. This is where you make the game work for the player. Now, in video game terms, that's where you put these quality of life things. You have replayability. You have beautiful graphics that are fine-tuned and finished. You have expansion packs that come out. That's where you're going to find that you want it to work for your creators. And that is the distinguishing factor that I want to take out of the comparing it between video games. You want this computer-based algorithm, you want it to let your content creators know if their channel is at risk for being flagged and for what purposes. Send out emails, send out updates. Let your content creators know how this algorithm works. Don't just set it loose and say, well, figure it out yourselves. Minecraft, huge game for underage people. Absolutely huge game. It's a huge game for everybody. Everybody loves Minecraft. Everybody plays Minecraft. That is something, if you have red flag rules for your computer-based algorithm, it is going to flag Minecraft. It is going to say it's kid-friendly. It's going to remove all your revenue, and you're going to have a heck of a time fighting back with this computer-based algorithm. Let's hit 300 by the end of the year, okay? Let's end this on a more upbeat note, okay? We're going to end it on 300. I'm looking forward to your guys' feedback on what games you want me to play, how you want me to improve as a commentator. I would love to be able to live stream more, and I'm looking forward to you guys really making that happen. But what I will say, and we're going to end with this, it's not going to change a thing with how I do my content. I am not going to be more vulgar. I'm not going to be less family friendly. I'm not going to be more childish. I'm not going to be more adult with my content. I'm going to continue releasing content and commentary that reflects the style of person I am and the style of commentary that I enjoy doing. And I'm going to play the games I enjoy playing regardless of whether they are deemed children games or not. And I'm going to give YouTube pushback anytime that they try to flag my content as designed for kids under the age of 13. Now, clip this if you need to. My content is not designed for people 13 years or younger. It is designed for an audience that is family friendly, that wants to hang out, relax with their family, okay, and not have to worry about swearing or vulgarity. Now, all that said and done, all the rambling aside, the comment section down below, feel free to clip literally any of this. Clip whatever you want. Tweet it out to the people you want. Send it to YouTube if you want. I don't care. This is me just talking about what I want to do in 2020. No fancy goals. No fancy... We're not making up some story. We're not acting out. We're just saying it how it is. And I think that's important. I'm going to shut my filthy little cake-o, but remember, I love you guys, and we will see you next time. Toodles!